Hi guys, it's a new month and we are headed to go do the monthly grocery shopping. Things are thick economically, so I have given myself a strict target of spending only about $105, which comes to about 15,000 Kenya shillings, and I'm aiming to buy enough food to last us 1 month when I do the freezer meal videos tomorrow. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to do that. I have a shopping list that I'm going to show you right here, but let's go and see if we can make this work. So there are 5 places we need to go to do the shopping. The market, of course, because of the vegetables, the groceries and the fruits. Then the supermarket for some things. We need to go to KMC to buy meat. And then I have decided that I want to try and make Matumbo, which is tripe for those who are not Swahili speakers. Guys, it's been almost 15 years since I have had Matumbo. But, you know, you just have to be creative in these economic times. So a lot of people have good things to say about Matumbo. So we want to see if we can find the guys who are selling and buy some. I'm just buying some for the experiment purposes, but then we will see. We'll see how people react to it. So yeah, the 4th place is to buy the Matumbo, and then we need to go buy the beans. So guys, we have bought the Matumbo, or the tripe. It's interesting. Let me show you. So this is how it looks like. By the way, if you have a weak heart, just turn away. It's apparently goat tripe. I did not know that. I thought it would be cow. And then it comes the whole offal of the goat. So this is for 1 goat. Very fairly priced at 200 shillings. It's a lot of meat. But I only thought, for me, I thought I was coming to get this one, the towely one. So I don't know what to do with the rest. Then it comes in water. I don't know why. I'm tempted to pour the water, but I don't know. I don't know what will happen if I do. So let's go home and figure this out. In the interest of time, I think we will just go to the supermarket and to buy the beans and everything that needs to be soaked overnight so that we can soak it. And then tomorrow morning, and especially because tomorrow is market day, we've decided it's better to come to the market tomorrow morning. Unfortunately, after all of that, I didn't manage to soak my beans yesterday. So I want to just go through them now and boil them for 5 minutes. And then after soaking for an hour in that boiling water, I want to use my new instant pot to see whether they're going to get ready in 5 minutes like y'all have been telling me. So I can't wait to do that unboxing with you, but first let's deal with these beans. I want to leave these beans soaking as I go to the market, so that when I come back, I'll start boiling them with our fantastic new Instapot. And my little helpers are always willing to help. Hey, headed to the market. Hopefully, because today was market day, we should find everything nice and fresh. And then we'll pass by the supermarket, and then we are going to see how we are trying, and I hope we'll make it, to keep this budget or the cost of this month's groceries at $100. Fingers crossed. Many years ago, before I started coming to the market, I used to find it to be such a hassle, like so completely out of the way. But it reached a point for me where I was like, the math was just not mathing. Like I would look at how much I was buying for groceries at the, just there in the estate, and it would be so expensive. And then, this was many years ago, then I started asking my house help at the time. Back then I had two because of the twins. I would send both of them to the market, to my kitty market, to buy me stuff. And then I would give them a certain amount of money, and then they would come back. But then I realized they would also buy a lot of stuff for themselves. Like they would come with new clothes, and I'm like, how much money? They would never bring any change, by the way. So I started thinking that maybe it's a good idea for me to take myself to the market to actually see how much the things cost. And I realized that I was giving them so much money that they would buy everything that I needed and even get money to buy themselves clothes. Anyway, long story short is that it's nice. I've come to learn it's nice to take myself to the market so that I can see exactly how much the prices are, so that even if once in a while I have to send our help, now we have one, at least I have a rough idea, Yeah, it just makes sense mathematically. We are done with the market shopping. It was quite interesting. Let me show you what we got, and then maybe you can guess the total. We see how far we are into our budget of $100. Then I'll tell you the market total after this. Just wait. I think we got some nice things. Wait and see. So these are the things that I bought from the market, and the total will surprise you. Okay, let me tell you. Price by price, so that we either celebrate together or we cry together. So starting right here with the ginger, we've already cleaned it. Actually, most of these are cleaned because we're just about to do our freezer meal videos and our freezer meals. So I'll go through this very fast. Look out for that video. But this one, we bought half a kilo at 100 shillings. See, they've been washed so nicely. We're just about to start doing that. The courgettes were scarily expensive because we're selling one at 20 shillings. And also, if you wanted to buy per kilo, a kilo is going for 140. Normally, these things are like 80 bob or 60 bob. That's that. The colored peppers, I want to make a salad with this. We're going for 50 bob a piece, 50 shillings. Can you even? The pixies or tangerines, I don't know the difference. These are one of actually the first thing we bought there. They were going for 100 shillings per kilo. I found this to be very fair. We bought the greenest bananas so they can last the longest. And this lady was selling to us 3 for 25 shillings, which is quite fair, if you ask me, because that means one is cheaper than 10 bob. The tomatoes were a steal. Let me tell you guys, I haven't bought tomatoes that fairly ever since I started going to the market. It's been some years, because we bought 1 kilo of tomatoes at, guess what? 35 shillings. My goodness, I should just start selling tomatoes at this rate, because I'll make a handsome profit. Now, the carrots we also bought per kilo, and a kilo was going for 80 shillings, which was pretty fair. The green peppers were also costly because we bought a kilo at 100 shillings, and normally a kilo is like 60, 80, 70, like that. But things have changed and inflation is real. Now, these onions were the most expensive thing today. Then normally you buy like a kilo of onion for 80 bob, I don't know, 90. If the guy gets to 100, you start wailing. Today, they were selling a kilo at 200. You're like, what? Keep them. And then now you remember you need onions for life. So there you go. And then now, the ginger we bought half a kilo at 250, which is pretty expensive because normally half a kilo goes for 200. Some peppers for the cameraman. These were for 20 shillings. The rosemary was also for 20 shillings. The cabbage, I was just laughing. Do you remember a few months ago when we were buying a cabbage for 100 shillings, 150 shillings, and those guys would tell you, yeah, this cabbage is 150, take it or walk? Well, today they were almost begging you to buy them. This huge thing was going for 50 shillings, and if you bargained, 40 shillings, but for some reason I forgot to bargain for those. These pineapples we bought each at 120 shillings, and this forest of coriander or parsley was three pieces for 10 shillings. It was okay. Melons, guys, I think melons are out of stock because this one, they were selling a kilo at 68 shillings. 68. Guys, go back to my old grocery haul videos because that is a record of how inflation has changed. Normally we buy a kilo of these at 30, 35, 68, and the guy was like, yeah, things are bad. So yeah, that is the market haul, and the total for the whole market haul, all the vegetables and fruits, came to 3,140. That's about $25. I'll do the math here, you will see. And so I have enough vegetables to last us for the whole month because we are going to cook them. A lot of people ask me, how are these vegetables going to last you for a whole month? I've done a video showing you how to preserve your vegetables, but the best way for me to preserve them is to actually cook them and put them in the fridge when they are nice and cooked in the freezer. So that's it. So now, let me show you what else we got. Yay, I'm excited at how we are going about the budget. Yeah, so it's not so bad. Not so bad. Now, we are headed to KMC to go buy meat. I hope the prices will be fair. One thing I really appreciate about coming to this KMC shop, and this is absolutely not sponsored, is that it is so clean. I mean, everything looks so professional, which I like. However, when it comes to the prices, I mean, nothing beats going to the slaughterhouse. Nothing. I mean, I've done a video showing the way we used to go shopping in the Goreti slaughterhouse. The meat there is so freshly slaughtered. Like they would slaughter that morning and then you're there by like 9 a.m. and you're getting the freshest meat you can imagine. But then we moved and here we are. So yeah, but I do appreciate how KMC, when it comes to cleanliness, of course you can't compare it with the slaughterhouse, but I mean, when it comes to the prices, again, you can't compare it to the slaughterhouse, you know. So now let's talk about the meats, because here's where the drama is. So we went to KMC, as you have seen, and here I have 3 kilos of meat on bone, which, let me check my list. All right, they were selling a kilo at 470 shillings. So yes, that's that. And then remember in the morning when I removed chicken from my freezer that I was going to make Asian chicken thighs, only after it had thawed do I realize that it's actually wings. But you know what? I'll still make Asian chicken wings, whatever, man. And I thought I had 2 packets, only to find that one of these are bones that I had bought for making beef broth, which I never did. And now I thought it was chicken. And now there we go. So I'll just make broth because I've been needing to take some broth for the longest. And now here I have 2 humongousaurus kienyeji chicken or free-range chicken. These ones we actually bought from our niece and nephew who do this as a side hustle. So proud of them. I actually bought them about 2 months ago, but I decided I'll still add them to the total figure because we're actually going to have them this month. So when it comes to the totals, these ones, you know, kienyeji chicken is not like cheap, okay, because it's really good quality meat. So these were actually the most expensive ones because checking my list, the kienyeji chicken came to about, I didn't do the total, 2,000, because they were selling 1 kilo at 950 shillings. And you can see it's quite a hefty bird. I don't know if you can see that. So yeah, one is about 2.9 kilos, the other one is 2.7 kilos. In total, about 5,200 for the Kenyeji chicken alone. But the wings were about 700 shillings. The bones, we're not going to count the bones because we're not eating them. And then here, this came to a total of 1,410. And then I have these just half packet of sausage that I want to use for my beans. And this one I calculated to cost about 400 shillings. And then we have the matumbo. We have already boiled it, but I'll show you the whole process up to where we got here. But let me show you how it looks like now. So here is our matumbo or tripe, nice and boiled. But we need to boil it just a bit longer because I know you're supposed to boil it for like 3 to 4 hours if you're not using the instant pot. So we've already boiled it for like an hour, but it still feels a bit tough to me, so we'll boil it for a bit longer. But this meat, you guys, is so affordable. What? You won't even believe. Because this was going for 200 shillings. 200 shillings. And it's not even sold that per kilo or whatever. You just get, this one is from a goat. So you just get the whole thing of the goat for 200 shillings. It's a lot of meat. A lot. I really hope my family, these kids are better like this because this is such a great saving when it comes to buying meat. All right. So let me show you the total of how much you spent for meat. We also have this minced beef that I'm going to use to make a chili. Again, we bought it a while back, so it's been in our freezer. And this one went for about 600 shillings. So the total for all my meats, of course, the meats were the most expensive. They came to about 8,630 shillings. So we're ranging at about 11,000 and something. We'll keep doing the maths here so you can keep up. And now let's see what we bought from the supermarket so that we see, and the beans and lentils and whatnot, so that we see whether we manage to stay within our $100 range. I really hope so. You know, one thing I've always said I will try and do when it comes to shopping, the supermarket especially, is to go shopping in wholesale shops. But for some reason, I've just never managed to do it because I always think, okay, what am I going to do with all that stuff? It's going to go bad in my house. I don't know. Do you do wholesale shopping like in wholesale shops? And do you really save money? And does the food ever go bad in your home? Let me know and I'll try it. Also, let me know the best places to get nice wholesale shops. Done with the supermarket. Yeah, we were buying very few things. Okay, so we did buy other things for the rest of the house, but as far as the freezer meals are concerned, let me show you what we bought and how much is spent. And as we do that, let me get a snack because our girl is starving. Look at this beauty. This is the best thing you can eat, you guys. This is roasted maize, not corn. Delicious. Wow. This is my lunch. Okay. It's hot, but yummy. Now, my supermarket haul is quite small because most of everything else that I'm going to be using to make my freezer meals tomorrow are in the house. You know, when you talk about the cooking oil, the spices, the whatnot, but I needed to add a few things here. I added this orange juice because I need it for making my quote-unquote Asian chicken thighs, which are now chicken wings. Then some brown sugar for the same recipe. I'm forgetting to say the price. Okay, the juice was 130 shillings. The brown sugar was 209. And then I bought 2 tins of coconut cream for one of my vegetarian dishes. Both cans are going for 558 because one was 270, whatever. And then here we have the tomato paste, which each can was going for 189, so I bought 2 of these. And then I've ran out of soy sauce. I need it for the Asian chicken, whatever, and for the beef and for everything. This is such a nice thing to have. 350 shillings. And lastly, this ugali flour for eating with our matumbo or our tripe. Checking list 211. So basically that's it. And one thing I'm not calculating in this whole equation are what we're going to use to make to be our accompaniments, you know, like the rice we're going to have, let's say with the beans, or the wheat flour that we're going to use to make chapatis and all that, because those ones we normally buy them on a separate date. So yeah, when you think about the total, remember that we haven't included those ones. So my supermarket total was pretty fair, because it came to 1,836 for this, which is also a bit sad. I mean, just this, I mean, 2,000 shillings for this. Oh my gosh. All right, but that's it. So let me show you the beans and the lentils and the whatnot, and we do the total.
When it comes to buying beans and cereals, people ask me all the time, like, where do I buy my beans and my cereals, like which particular shop? Because I don't buy them from the supermarket anymore, because the price difference is you cannot even begin to imagine. But literally, I just buy at any cereal shop near me. The prices will be definitely way better than anywhere else. Here we have red lentils and the cowpeas that we have already boiled. And the beans we have soaked, but we haven't boiled them yet because I'm waiting to use them on the instant pot.
And that's the entirety of my haul. So in total, let me see. So for the meat, we spent 8,600. For the supermarket, 1,800. For the market, 3,140. For the beans, 2,000 shillings, coming to a total of, drum roll please, 15,606 Kenya shillings, which if you calculate with the current rate comes to about, so 15,606 divided by 100 and let's say 44, because the rate keeps going the way it is going, comes to a total of $108.375. All right, so I mean, technically still $100, right? For a month for 7 people. Okay, maybe it's 108. I think this is I'm excited because yeah, I think we've really tried. Not to mention the fact that we've also included fruits in there and all that. So before I start making the matumbo, first time in many years, let me first get my new instant pot. We unbox it. We get these beans boiling in preparation for tomorrow. I'm glad I saved myself some money. I think it's good. Let me know if you think I've saved money. I think I have, but let me know what you think. So, my cameraman decided to gift me this because he was like, "You shall suffer no more, my wife." Whomst am I to say no? We had to bring it in from the UK because we couldn't find this brand here. And the thing that we were really keen about was the size, because it's very hard to find a large instant pot. And you know, you guys, you have seen that I cook food for the entire nation. Okay, so I need something with a large capacity. And the largest capacity, trust me, we searched high and low. The largest capacity was 7.5 liters. I was really hoping for 10. So like when you've seen those beans, I think I'm going to have to boil them in batches, like maybe 2 batches, hopefully. But you guys have been telling me all along, if you get an instant pot, you boil those things in 2 minutes. Well, I'm just talking 4 minutes, right? It better be 2 minutes. Okay, I know you're just, I'm kidding. I'm putting words in your mouth. But let's unbox this. Truth be told, I had already removed it from the suitcase, from this, so that it can fit in said suitcase. But, I mean, I just have to remove it from the box so you guys can see that it's new, okay? Okay? All right. So, anyhow, here we go, here we go. All right. So, I had already removed my manual. I've sort of been going through it, but not quite, but somehow. But I need to sit down and actually read it very well. I removed all the carton brown things because it's heavy. It's quite heavy. So here we go. I think it's quite huge. So inside the packet was, as I said again, the manual, and then we have this, and then when you open it up, you have this thingamabob, and then you have the cables. Oh wow, this is thoughtful. So depending on which side of the world you hail from, you can either use this or you can use this. That is so thoughtful, my goodness. So as we are more this one, and then, oh my gosh, you guys, this thing is so tiny. This is 7 liters? Are you for real right now? So let me clean this up. And then we put this and we put it here. Then we do boop, 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 and we cook. How hard can it be? Famous last words. So I'm going to use baking soda. Dr. Google has told me that if you use a pinch of baking soda, it creates an alkaline environment and your beans get softer faster, all right? And therefore cook faster. Of course, I'm going to put some salt because you want them to be nicely salted from the time you're boiling. Also, according to Dr. Google, if you have soaked your beans overnight, like we have soaked for hours, they say that it should take 10 to 12 minutes if you want soft beans. I want soft beans. I like soft beans. And then another 10 to 15 minutes of natural release. So we're looking at about 25 minutes, which is, I think, quite a huge accomplishment. Because normally it takes us like 2 hours to boil all these beans. So I think we'll up to there. It's good enough. Let me get my water. In goes the water. You see it cover like 2 inches. I hope I don't mess this up. Oh my gosh. And then we put in our salt. And our baking soda. Is it just a pinch? That's a pinch.
Guys, you have no idea how excited I am about this Instant Pot. I'm telling you, the possibilities are endless. So let's see what this thing can do.
Guys, this was so fast. What am I doing? It's not hot actually. It's not hot. But the cooking, we set the pressure cooking option for 12 minutes. But I didn't know it has like a preheating part of like another 10 minutes, which is fine. But those 12 minutes, once it started pressure cooking, were over so fast. Then one thing I've really enjoyed is that the house does not smell like beans. You know the way you're normally boiling beans on your stove top, the whole house, everybody knows, even the neighbors, that you're making beans. This one, you don't even smell nothing. Okay, I've loved that. So now what we're waiting for is we're waiting for the pressure, what are they calling it? Checking manual, pressure, something to go down. That shows that it has done the release. This cutting. See this one here. The silver one. That one. So yes, I decided to turn off the keep warm option because I don't want it to keep warm, because I need to remove it and then put the next one. So right now it is venting, so I can't open it until, although I can do what they're calling a quick release, but I checked Dr. Google and they're like, for beans it is important to do that slow release for like 15 to 20 minutes, as I said. So yeah, I'll show you how it looks like once it's done. But this is so cool, man, so cool.
Guys, look at the softness of these beans. Oh my goodness. And only in 12 minutes? Are you kidding me? I cannot wait to show you how we are going to make these fantastic freezer meals with all this stuff that we have bought today. But if you want to be seeing other freezer meal videos that we have made, I'm going to pin the playlist right here and I'll see you over there. Bye.